just remember that failure is one of the steps on the stairs to greatness. So if you screwed up big time, that's part of the process of becoming successful. Keep going.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good morning, Michael McGreevy. Previously, episode 991 of the 12-Minute Convos podcast. It's been just 3 years, 1 month, 19 days, 13 hours, and 15 minutes, plus or minus 2, since we last had that conversation. That was then. This is now. Michael, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there. I told you I have some sick kids, but we're working through it, and I'm happy to be here with you on the call.
Well, I'm honored to get this 12 minutes. I can imagine how it feels, right? Not knowing who's going to call. Daddy, I need your help, right? I'm dying here. So I do thank you for jumping in here and have a conversation. When we last spoke, we covered you from the perspective of being a coach for others, specifically fathers, husbands, and leaders, and what you were doing there. Fun conversations, the openness to new connections, the introverted version of Michael. So tell us, how have things evolved today?
Oh man, a lot has happened in 3 years. I have 3 kids now.
Wow.
And I've also moved into executive coaching instead of just personal one-on-one coaching. So I'm doing some personal development trainings and seminars, and I'm also working with executives one-on-one, and I'm having a blast. I'm loving it, my man.
Yeah. You know, my son was looking at a video with you yesterday, and he said, Daddy, he looks like Thor. Do you get that often?
I don't. That's the first time, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I think it was the tone of the voice as well, that deep, confident voice. Now tell me, it seems to me that there's a theme that's evolving from all of these conversations that I've had, where I'm seeing or hearing that each person has this voice. When Jamie introduced you to personal development, for those who don't know, that's our friend Jamie Slingerland, right? So he introduced you to personal development, but there's a voice that you would have heard that you discerned as being correct, and you made a choice to go forward. Is that accurate?
It is. I think there's something deep down. I don't know if I can call it an audible voice, but there is something within me that's driving me to want to be better and to make the most of my life.
How do you help others define that voice or listen to that voice, even with executive coaching and what's going on there?
Yeah, I think first of all, you have to be willing to even look within yourself, because it's easy to look around at what everyone else is doing and how they're finding success and try to become like the people around you, right? But I believe there's something very powerful and unique in each individual. And it takes courage to shut out what everyone else is doing and to look within and see what has God gifted you with? What is unique about you that He wants you to bring to the world? So I help people focus on who they are uniquely instead of trying to be like other people.
Having a family, I believe, creates this type of rubber band effect where once that rubber band stretches, it never comes back to where it was originally. From love, from that perspective of love, have you seen that occur? Did you believe you could love as much as you do love now?
I've heard people say it. I've heard parents talk about it, but I kind of dismissed it when I was a single guy. I have to admit it. But you are so right. Once you have these little beings that are extensions of you running around the house, yeah, your heart has to expand, and you have to become a more loving person, or you just won't make it. And so, yeah, absolutely. I love that concept.
You've gotten married, and of course, you've made the choice to evolve into not just you developing personally, but helping others evolve. In the midst of it, your wife is there. How has she been affected by the decisions you are making going forward?
Yeah, I think she resisted me. She wants me to shut up and stop telling her about how she needs to change her life and be more into personal growth. So after a while, I listened and gave her space to carve out her own path and the way that she does things. And frankly, since I've let go and let her be who she is, she's blossomed and she's done some really amazing things.
Now that comes full circle to coaching. Some people believe coaching is the coach shouting, "Come on, you have to do it," versus the questions. How important is it to be able to ask correct questions?
Oh my gosh, it's crucial. You know, a, if you want a prescription or a 5-step plan on how to do something, just type it in Google. You don't need a coach. But if you want someone to draw out what's in you, and back to that uniqueness conversation, right? There's something powerful and unique in each person. And when it's ourselves, it's difficult to be fully aware of what that is within ourselves. So that's what a coach does is through powerful questions, they draw that magic out of a person and help them see it and help them move forward with that magic to make a difference in the world. So questions are absolutely crucial.
One of your focuses in the last conversation was that you said, "Hey, I'm going intentionally into authentic relationships because it's great when you have people that you can trust and share those parts of you that you wouldn't share with others." How has that development been going?
It's been going well. It's been hard because it almost feels like dating, kind of in a weird way. I've, you can't go up to a guy and say, "Hey, do you want to be friends with me?" They might look at you funny. So it takes time to develop those relationships, but I've been very intentional about that, and it's led to some very trusted, deep relationships. And there's 4 guys right now that I'm connected to, or 3 guys that we are doing a podcast together, and those relationships led to us doing a cool project together.
Tell us the
So
name
I
of the
am,
podcast. Come on, are you holding out on us?
yes, the Entrepreneurial Family Man podcast. It's all
Love
about
it.
being an entrepreneur and a dad at the same time and wanting to not sacrifice your marriage or your kids, but still kill it in business. And that's a tough balance to make happen, as you know.
In the midst of things, there's a question that comes up, one that we do not often want to interact with, which is the possibility that you could die today or tomorrow. Is that a conversation that you have in the forefront of your mind when you're planning your day, or is it something on the back shelf?
Oh my gosh, I am acutely aware of that every day. I'm not kidding you. I think about the fact that I could be gone at any second. And that really drives me to make the most of every day. And I know it sounds a little bit cheesy, but that is actually true. People die every day. Some are tragic, some are expected, but we don't have any guarantees. And if that doesn't drive you to get up and make something of your life and go for it, I don't know what will.
Hmm. For those that are listening, what's one way you'll let them know is a great start to the entry of what you've encountered over the past now like 6 years, right, of personal development? What would you say is hey, this is a great first step that you can take?
Yeah, for me, it was tragedy and loss that led me to take a step. And I wouldn't recommend intentionally creating difficulty in your life so then you turn your life around. But I would start small. Um, don't worry about getting so complex and having 5 different things that you're trying to do in the morning and then 10 books you're reading. Just start simple and try to do one simple activity for a long period of time. And that just might be getting up in the morning and working out. Try doing that for a stretch of 90 days. And once you get that discipline built in your life, you can build off of that and add other things that can also make you a better person and help you grow.
Definitely more is caught than taught with children. How have you seen the evolving of both you and your wife impact your children?
Both good and bad. Sometimes when they have an outburst and I hear the exact line that I said when I was angry, I'm humiliated. And just everything you say, they hear and they take it in. And there's good moments there too. Like I heard my son pray at dinner yesterday, and I almost started crying because it was such a heartfelt, deep prayer. What he was asking about, he's praying for his brother. So everything you say and do gets noticed by your kids.
Hmm. What was that sound?
Sorry about that ding. It was just maybe it was the light bulb moment. Ding.
It felt that way. It felt like I'm in heaven. Your life is over. Oh, that's really cool. That was really cool. Well, Michael, again, it's such of a grand opportunity to call in and to hear that you've not given up on the path that you've chosen, more so that it's unique to who you are. And that is actually what's powering you through your decisions to impact others. I cannot tell you how important I believe that is, not just for you, but for humanity. So I do thank you for the service, because you could have said, hey, I've found this, I'm not sharing it with anyone, right? I'll keep it home. But you've decided to be intentional with sharing the values that you've learned and how others can grow from it. So thank you for that. In closing, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Hey, it's my pleasure, and so good to talk to you. I love what you're doing. Just remember that failure is one of the steps on the stairs to greatness. So if you screwed up big time, that's part of the process of becoming successful. Keep going.
Michael McGreevy, folks. Again, a pleasure. I treasure. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.